good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where in the world you are tapping in from. You have to keep in mind that Keep It P podcast is a global show. And today we will be discussing hold accountable those radicalized people into hate-mongers. Ben Crump says after Buffalo mass shooting. Let me try to read this again. Hold accountable those who radicalize people into hate-mongers. Ben Crump says after Buffalo mass shooting. Okay. No black nowhere. No, this was black. This was about black people. This wasn't just one of your old run-of-the-mill mass shootings. No, we have manifesto, very long. We have much evidence that was some known about. And he was allowed to continue to be tyrannical, race, hate, mongerings. He was continued, allowed to. Yeah. Had permission, if you will. And he's not gonna, no, Ben Crump, he don't mention black. No, everything but black. It's the rainbow. It's the human race. And I get what you're talking about. But when it's black, it's time to say black, because if it was Asian, you would say Asian. If it was Mexican, you would say Mexican. Only time they want to say black is when it's something bad. No, this was a domestic terrorist attack aimed at black citizens. We're going to talk about this and more on this episode of Hakuna Matata.
Von Savage Media. Von Savage Media. Von Savage Media. Von Savage Media.
This is the Keep It P podcast, where we take news, situations, and everyday occurrences, and we show how one could or could not be keeping it P. I am your host, TZ Von Savage, in the place to be. I'm not going to hold y'all and going into it with all the intro and all of that. I said that earlier, spoke a little bit too long. Let's get into the video. Oh, I forgot we got PubeTube. So we got to handle business. This ain't my fault. Fair use. And again, fair usages.
Were hurt, and one of those killed was 86-year-old Ruth Whitfield. She's a mother, she's a wife, and she's a grandmother. Her son, Garnell Whitfield, is a retired commissioner of the Buffalo Fire Department. Joins us along with attorney Ben Crump, who is representing the Whitfield family. Good morning. city of Buffalo is mourning the 10 people were gunned down at a grocery store in a predominantly black neighborhood. 3 others were hurt, and one of those killed was 86-year-old Ruth Whitfield. She's a mother, she's a wife, and she's a grandmother. Her son, Garnell Whitfield, is a retired commissioner of the Buffalo Fire Department. He joins us along with attorney Ben Crump, who is representing the Whitfield family. Good morning to you both. Mr. Whitfield, I want to start with you because we are all so very sorry that you and any other family is going through this pain this morning. But I'm curious, it's been reported that you went to the store to help, and once you arrived, you learned that your mother was, in fact, one of the victims. How did you find out that you had now been personally affected by this?
My mom had gone to the nursing home, which she did every day for the last 8 years, to care for my father, who was at the nursing home, and she didn't answer her phone.
Is this baby Negro trauma porn just a smidge? I understand you're trying to humanize them to be human, but come on, man. We talking about a black grandmama that was gunned down, and Ben Crump ain't gonna say that. That's who he is. You said you want to know who he is? That's who he is. Ambulance chasing of Negro porn. Look, but shout out Jay Lava, not trying to tell you what to think. That's for them other media outlets to do. We're trying to show you how to think, show you how to put it together and break it down. Look up the Tupac and Biggie and all that old stuff. Fam's always been around in the background. Pay attention. It don't cost nothing.
And the nursing home is just blocks from the scene here. Upon her not answering her phone, just walked the scene here and was able to ascertain that her vehicle was in the lot here at the store.
You mentioned nursing home. Tell us a little bit more about their relationship.
My parents were married for 67, 68 years. We were wonderfully blessed to have them all of this time. My father had taken ill and had been in this nursing home for the last 8 years. My mom was there every day to take care of my father. Every day. She loved him completely. And she was doing what she did every day. And she left there and stopped by the store on the way home to get groceries. And
you see that? Every day. She held it down every day. You want to know what a boss bee looks like? Excuse my French, and I should never even use this queen's name like that ever. But I'm just saying so you get where I'm going. That's the terminologies of today and what folks is inspiring to be. Well, that's a boss right here. Says she held it down every day. 60 plus years of marriage. Shout out to my people, almost 50. If y'all caught that, you caught that. If you know, you know.
Encountered this individual.
Ben, I would like to ask you about the representation of the Ruth Whitfield family.
Here we go.
In a statement yesterday, you said, "We are thoroughly investigating the shooting and the events leading up to it." What further answers do you want to know?
Well, Nate, it's important that we not only hold accountable this individual who committed this hateful act, but we hold accountable those who curate this hate, who radicalize these young white supremacists. I mean, that manifesto, he said his intent was to kill as many black people as he could.
Uh-oh. He said black. He also said white, though. See? Always muddying the waters. But I'm shocked he said white supremacist, but it's all in the, he read in the playbook. It's all in the manifesto. You got to call it what it is. That's what it says. Once again, we dealing with, I don't do no disparaging on here. You seen what you seen called but Mr. Banana Boat, sir.
That day, we saw in Charleston, South Carolina, with the young white supremacist Dylann Roof, and now we're here in Buffalo, New York. How long before we get the anti-black hate crime bill passed? Because if we don't do something...
Uh-oh. The anti-black hate bill? Oh, okay. Hey, even a broken clock's right twice a day. You heard what I'm trying to told you. Still don't take away how fam seem to be ambulance chasing on the Negro trauma porn. Now we'll see. You said one or two little right syllables and adjectives and verbs. P. You put together a couple words there. You did say black. You did say anti-black hate bill. I heard you very specifically. But see, this is the problem. You put all your... We've been here before. We've been here before. That's why you have HR 40, and it's kicking the can. See, they just kick the can, and they kick the can, and they kick the can. We seen how fast you can get the hate crime bills done and what have you. We seen that. But don't be distracted, please. Please don't be distracted. That's all nice. That's all fine. That's all dandy. What they want now? What they want now? Reparations. See, that's the problem. That's what we talking about. You see that? Go sign that petition. We talking about first payment of $20 trillion. There you go. That's what we talking about. See, if they ain't talking like that, it's all garbage. It's all lip service. That's what it is. No soup for you. No, we don't want that, P. That's cute. That's cute. To kick the can. It'll be 10 years. You still won't have your little anti-crime bill. Look how long it took to get your George Floyd's and your
meaningful, Nate
shenanigans.
and Gail. I am so afraid that we will see something like this happen again in our community.
Yeah, I think Ben Crump, we're all afraid of that. You know, it doesn't seem like you're safe at the grocery store, the church.
Hold on now, you safe. And don't get to talking about the spy and all that. He was talking about black people. See, you twisted it and turned it to something else. He was talking about black people for 2 seconds. And then you got him right back on y'all code. Y'all got him right back on that on code for the bluffery.
At a concert. Now we have a man in custody. What do you make of the arrest of this young man?
Young man?
You know,
reverence. What respect, young man? Can we call him the white supremacist? At least, can you at least say that? Is that Gail? Gail, can you at least say that? Miss King?
Gail, so many times we talk about unarmed young people of color being killed, but yet when...
Not people of color. See, this is what I'm... Here's the Ben Crump I know. Now, I knew he would show up. I told you, even a broken clock is right twice a day. I knew the Ben Crump would show up. Sir, Mr. Banana Boat, Benjamin, Mr. Banana Boat Crump, sir. Yes, I knew you was in there. I knew you was in there. She brought you back to code.
When you have these young confirmed white mass murderers, they always seem to be taken alive. And so it just goes to a deeper conversation of how we deal with societal issues, especially involving...
That's not... Listen, man. Get to the nitty gritty. Societal issues. It ain't society getting killed. And don't forget to talk about the policing issues, because that's what you was talking about. Getting arrested and getting your balls fondled and getting taken to Culver's after you just committed mass murder. That's what we was talking about. See, you wanted to know who Ben Crump was? If you tuned in to find out who Ben Crump was, we don't do disparaging over here on this channel, P. But it don't cost nothing to pay attention.
And race. We have to direct our attention to these internet sites that inspire these young people. They're radicalizing them to be hate mongers, to be people who hate people because of the color of their skin.
It is very hard, Ben, to hear that
To
this
hate
young
black
man was
people.
so young and had so much hatred in his heart. I want to
For
go
black
back to you,
people.
Mr. Whitfield, because, you know, I think about the 10 families who are waking up today who's
Don't forget about the white people who he spared and didn't give them the blah blah and even apologize to. Oh, sorry, I almost was gonna block you, man. Go ahead, man. You're good. That's a whole. What are you talking about? That's clear anti-black racism. Period. Domestic terrorism against black Americans. FBA.
lives are forever changed. I'm wondering how you're processing this loss yourself.
It's very difficult.
Is
It's
he processing
surreal.
the loss of his mom?
We are in a place that we never expected to be. My mother was the glue that held us together. My mother was my father's caretaker. We've not shared this information with my father. We don't know if that's in his best interest. We don't know how to proceed. We have to consult with his caretakers, with his doctors, and find out, how to proceed with this. We don't know if he should attend the memorial service for my father. We don't know how we're going to care for him going forward in a manner consistent with what my mother would have wanted. And so we have a tough
Look
road
at him
ahead.
trying to push
It's
him
difficult
off.
days,
That's
I think,
enough.
not just
That's
for your
enough.
family, but for
You're
the
talking
country.
too much
There's some
about it.
very difficult questions we all need to face and we all need to answer. We thank you both.
Thank you.
both.
Nah, man, no. We all don't need to nothing. Cut that check, P. That's what we talking about. It's that simple. Cut the check. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Just gonna scold you about being on code. You wanted to know who Benjamin Banana Boat Crump was? It don't cost nothing to pay attention. We don't do disparaging over here. Now, if I really wanted to get into it, see, I can tell you a place that you could have came to. Boom. See, yesterday, if you would have seen the episodes yesterday on Keep It P Raw, see, we still go on air. When y'all don't see us on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we still be on air 3 times a day. We still do that. Still got information for you. Different programming for you. But you don't want to pay the little $5. You don't want to pay the $5. But you spending $10, $15 on some Newports. I'm gonna leave that alone though, because I still got love for you, and we don't do no disparaging on here, and that's just what it is. Little love, peace, blessings, and aloha. Take these commercials off.
Be one to the family. This is Kendra Blackwood of Hot Lava Music TV and the Hot Lava Media Group. And I come to you today with an urgent call to action. And with that being said, this petition is to demand the U.S. government immediately make anti-black racism a public health crisis is now an active campaign at change.org. And after this message, I'm going to need you to go over there and show your support. Right after you smash that like and subscribe if you have not already. Make sure you hit that bell for notifications. It doesn't cost you a thing. Now, this is a petition to demand cash reparations for foundational Black Americans addressing two critical components. So what is anti-Black racism? Anti-Black racism is defined here as policies and practices rooted in American institutions such as government, finance, education, healthcare, and justice that mirror and reinforce economic deprivation, racially targeted laws, beliefs, attitudes, prejudice, stereotyping and/or discrimination toward foundational Black Americans. What is a public health crisis, you ask? Well, a health crisis or public health crisis is a difficult situation or complex health system that affects humans in one or more geographic areas, from a particular locality to encompass the entire planet. Health crises generally have significant impacts on community health, loss of life, and on the economy. And ultimately the solution to the problem, it is imperative that the United States government declare anti-Black racism a public health crisis for foundational Black Americans. In 2020, as a community, Asian Americans experienced only 287 hate crimes nationwide. However, FBA in the same year suffered 2,871 reported hate crimes. As we know, those are just the reported accounts according to the F.B.I. As foundational Black Americans, we know that the number should reach in the billions daily. This resulted in a 94-1 unanimous decision to pass into law an anti-Asian hate crime provision to make Asian a protected class. With anti-Black racism being thousands of times more prevalent and permeating within the fabric of America, we ask that you sign this petition to say we are sick of studies and commissions to study forums and meaningless holidays and nothing burger symbolic gestures. We demand the U.S. government to urgently disperse the first initial reparations cash payment of $20 trillion to the surviving descendants of American chattel slavery. AKA, cut the damn check. And I mean that. Jack. On my ancestors for real for real. I proudly digress. Anyway. Check out the new Slave Patrol documentary. Pull up season on you sucker MCs. Don't forget to join us on Patreon. I got 4 words for you. Go grab a shirt. And love, peace, blessings and Meloa. Be one.